All right, y'all. Hello, hello, hello. I was just trying
Hello.
to figure out how we all could talk since we're not walking and talking, and so we'll have some healthy choices. That's what I was thinking about. You know, just being aware of our energies. I know Kathy and a lot of people are making healthy choices. So, with that being said, I thought, well, let's come on and see who would like to come on and talk about their healthy choices, being tactical, aware of our energies, like vitamins and stuff, what kind of vitamins people are taking, if they know um, that what if they're taking it and if it's helping or if they are toxic, because a lot of people don't know that they can be toxic taking a lot of vitamins. Just shooting the breeze, talking about whatever we can, what we've done today, what was different, stuff like that.
Well, I
What
got
you
my
think?
booster Thursday and my flu shot Thursday and my lab work for my A1. And doctor didn't call yesterday, so that was a good thing. So my A1 is 6.6. So she said she's proud of me. And all my other numbers looked good. So don't have to see her until April. And
Okay.
Josh's lab work must have come back good because we didn't hear from his neurologist yesterday. So his lab levels must be good too. So and today I fixed some
Mhm.
roasted broccoli and butter garlic chicken breast for my dinner for tomorrow.
That sounds good. Oh,
Mhm.
I meant to get my juice, but I do a little bit of chicken, and I mean, right now I'm doing fruits and vegetable, a little bit of chicken, and that's like at uh, 3 and then or 9. So today I did 3 because I had clients today. Oh, I'm still hearing an echo. Are you?
Now we are.
Mm, yeah.
Hmm.
Let's hope that's better. See, sorry, Vicky, I didn't mean to cut you off.
That's okay.
So, so your A1C is 6.6. So
Yep.
clearly your A1C must have been really high.
It was back last year, probably about want to say maybe midsummer it was like 9.2. So it's come down
Yeah,
quite a bit.
yeah. Well, that's something to be proud of. Girl, what were you eating? You were eating because it's not, is it, do you have a history of,
Well, dad was type 1, so
oh,
I'm
I
not on
didn't,
insulin like dad. Dad was type 1. So,
oh,
and I'm not on insulin like he was
okay,
because
good. I
he
didn't,
was diagnosed with diabetes when I was want to say maybe a junior in high school. So that's when dad got diagnosed.
oh, okay, okay. No, I didn't know that. Let me see, guys, if we can get some more people on. I thought that we were gonna go on Facebook, huh? On Facebook and on YouTube. So type 1 diabetes. So he was born with diabetes. And type
Well,
2.
he did. Well, he didn't. It didn't affect him until, like I said, like my junior year of high school is when he was actually diagnosed and started doing insulin, taking
In
insulin.
his 50s or
So
60s. Oh,
yeah, because remember the Chuckles factory
yeah,
that was in town? Dad
yeah.
used to go there and get a box of Chuckles and keep them on hand. So when his sugar dropped, he'd have, because he kept some in his desk at work, at church,
That's right.
at
That's
home.
right. Oh,
So
okay. Well, that's right, because that'll help increase the blood sugar level.
yeah.
Okay. So you're making healthy choices, which is good. And 6.6 is good. Is she saying she wants you on uh to get it down to 6.1, or because
Yeah, I'm
most
sure she wants
people,
it a lot lower.
okay, some doctors are wanting you to do below, but everybody, how you feel, at least when you get it
Yeah,
below 6.5 to 6.1. Uh-oh,
yeah. Well, it
Kathy's
seems like
here.
that she's spinning.
She's buffering. I don't know if she has to
Well, it
turn
seems
her,
like the level.
yeah,
Yeah, I don't
maybe
know.
turn her Wi-Fi. Yeah, see, this time of night, it's hard to figure out, like, the lighting and everything. It's
Yeah,
just, I'm gonna drop her down and have her reset. But darn, I'm trying to figure out how to do it. Since it's not live on it's not live on Instagram
Facebook.
or Facebook. So I'm gonna put the link in to you from YouTube to Facebook and tell them to join us. And I'll put the link on YouTube so they can join us on YouTube. But yeah, Kathy's welcome. And I learned
She
one.
said she's not sure. She's not sure what happened. Can you send her the link?
Okay. Oh, she was probably on YouTube. I'll send her the link. Okay. That's weird. And I put it on mm, um, okay. That's Kathy. Okay. Yeah, you're back on, Kathy. I was just
Yeah, my
saying,
phone kind of been acting up today, so I'm not sure how long I'm gonna be on here.
okay.
She
Well,
said if
you
you
look
send it to me on
into,
Messenger, I can get on my iPad.
oh, are you on your phone?
Yeah, I'm on my phone right now. It has
So
me
when
doing
you,
that.
like, scroll down to your Wi-Fi, and can you turn your Wi-Fi off?
It's off. Oh, maybe that's the problem. It's off. All right, it's on. Let me see if that works better.
Okay, and I'm trying to share it. Um, I'm trying to put the link into YouTube, and also it's crazy because I think why people give up, because it's too much to do trying to navigate without a production.
Yeah, James ended up because his stuff got messed up at church Sunday, so he ended up doing his service through his phone. And
Really?
Yeah, so when I had my laptop up to try to get it on Facebook, it wouldn't come up. I mean, I
Oh,
could still watch him on my phone, but because of
but you
something that
couldn't.
happened with the disconnect with his equipment and Facebook, it wasn't able to. I couldn't watch it on my laptop. I could watch it through Facebook on my phone, but not on my laptop.
Oh, okay. Well, I know these social devices are doing something different because I put that up there. Let me see if I can. Can't even pin it. So I was trying to from the phone to the iPads to the laptops. It's always something different. And then they were saying, "Well, how do you pin it?" And I thought I knew, but it's not letting me pin. So, anywho, I was trying to see who would come on and um, who wanted to talk about healthy choices. But no, I always, oh, somebody's got two things on. Why is it me? It can't be. Somebody's got on their mic in two different places. That's what that is. And it could be um, you're watching it and then you're talking on it. So you just have to turn one volume off.
No, I'm just on my phone.
Yeah, so it's not echoing on you. Well, nonetheless, it's okay. So, Kathy, what have you been doing? Vicky's been eating healthy, got her A1Cs down, and I'm still detoxing. And what else are you doing? You got your hair all done and everything, looking nice, looking cute.
Thank you. Need to get it done. Dirty, dirty, dirty. Um, Nothing different. Nothing different. I have glaucoma. I went to the doctor to get my. I go to the eye doctor every 6 months, and that appointment is good. My eye pressures are at 18, which is a good eye level. So he just told me to keep taking my eye drops, and I'm okay. So, because glaucoma runs in
Keep
my
doing it. Don't
family.
end up like me.
Huh?
Keep the drops going. Don't end up like me.
Oh yeah, I do them faithfully every night.
They were a pain. I hated doing those drops.
Oh, it doesn't bother me at
Really?
all. The only time I don't do it is when I'm lazy, when I've already gotten into bed and I don't want to get up
Uh-huh.
and go down and get it out of the refrigerator. But for the most part, I, whenever I say, okay, I'm going up for the night, I'll go ahead and put
Hmm.
them in because I'm supposed to put them in before I go to bed.
Yeah.
So, but no, I've been faithful with it. So,
Well, that's good.
yeah.
Oh, I hear myself echoing. So your eye drops, huh? But not
Hmm.
glaucoma or anything like that.
Yes, that's what I have. I have glaucoma.
I thought
And
you
we
meant,
caught it in the early stages. So I started the eye drops probably 5 or 6 years ago. So I've been taking them for a while, and I've every time I go in, my appointments are good. So I haven't had any problems with them. He said
Yeah, as long
I
as they,
shouldn't
they don't
have
want
any
it to get
issues.
higher than 20. If it
Hmm.
stays in the teens, they're really happy if it stays in the teens.
Hmm.
I thought, see, because at first I heard her say something else, and I was thinking of so do you have a film over your eyes?
Oh, you talking about
That's with the
cataracts?
cataract.
That's cataracts.
Yeah,
Yeah,
see, I had
that's what I'm
cataract surgery
thinking.
3 years ago. Yeah, cataract surgery 3 years ago on both of my eyes. But
Yeah, that's what I thought I heard her say she had a film over her eyes for
Mm-mm.
glaucoma. And that's, did they see? I did something about glaucoma, and they were saying people that were small frame, even with the bone, we talked about bone density, and they are
hmm
starting to find that a lot of that is correlated. But at least you're not having any problems. That's good.
Mm-mm.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, good. Well, and then I was thinking, I'm always hoping people will come on so we can talk about different things. Like Angie does her jewelry and um, gems, and since we're in the month of making healthy choices and learning new things, I was hoping she would come on. So I don't know, what else are you guys doing?
Not much. Just trying to stay warm.
Mm-hmm.
That's about it.
Yeah. I attended a meeting today at my church. We're getting ready to have a reading program to help students that are behind in reading and anybody that has dyslexia. And so it's a team of people. There's a reading group in Champaign that help with dyslexia. And so they're coming to our church and training. It was about, let's see, about eight ladies that have
hmm
volunteered. And so they're going to train us for 10 weeks. And so that we can open it up to students, first students in our church. And then, we'll go outside in the community and it'll be a one-on-one. So today was our first meeting. It's really interesting because after teaching for 34 years, I really never dealt with kids with dyslexia. And
hmm
that was not, like a focus. So I read up on it a couple times, but really I never had students with it. So I'm kind of interested in, and it's more phonics based. And, like the school systems, they change their curriculums like every 5 years. So you get comfortable with a curriculum and then they change it,
Yeah.
and
hmm
now they're going to like whole language where they focus more on comprehension. But if a child cannot sound out words, and use phonics, then they're lost. And
Yeah.
so with me subbing, I see that a lot now because, and plus the kids are a whole year behind, almost 2 years really. So it's interesting. So I'm glad I volunteered because I think going there is going to also help me when I sub, to kind of help
hmm
some of the kids that are struggling with reading because a lot of them are.
Yeah, that's something me and
Uh,
when Michael was wanting to read, we'd focus on, he'd say, Mom, what's that word? And sound it out. Let's sound it out.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
he always enjoyed reading, books and stuff. So
Yeah.
okay, that's good. Well, that's good. I noticed that they're talking about the different schools and all the different changes they're having to make. But so they'll train you so that you can assist them. That's
Hmm.
nice.
So we can
Okay.
help kids in our church. We'll open it up to the kids in our church, if there are kids that have a need. And then if we still have openings, and they'll, probably just word of mouth. If somebody in the church has a relative that needs some extra help with reading, then they can come.
Oh, that's
because
good.
sometimes I know there's a lot of adults, that
Hmm.
can't read, and that
Right,
floors
right.
me, and how
Yeah.
they manage to get by all this time without,
Hmm.
really being able to read and
Hmm.
comprehend what's in front of them.
It's a lot of that. I mean, even the kids to me in schools, a lot of kids are just passed on, you know.
Hmm
That's true. And now during these times, a lot of people were passed on, and now they need their, if nothing but reading, writing, and arithmetic. They can't even help
Mm-hmm.
their children. So I even thought about, it's like I got too many social platforms, but I thought about an app where alumni can tutor the kids and the parents, because the parents need help too. But now they have a different way uh, of doing math. And see, my thing is, if you get the answer, what's the problem?
I know.
So who
Oh
did?
my gosh. So let me share a quick story. I subbed last week, and it was regular division, but this new math wanted to teach these kids how to do it by using, I don't even know what it was, measurement, and they had to draw a square. And I looked at it, and like I tried to get there a little early so I can prepare myself. I could not figure it out. I'm not going to tell a story. They wanted them to learn how to do it by using area. And I told the kids, I said, you know what? I said, Mrs. Caston does not always do it the way Mrs. Lewis does. I said, so today we are using the old math. We are using regular division. And that's the way we did it. And some of them like, oh yeah, I like it. I like that way better. And then I told the other kids, I said, that's fine if you have a different way of getting it, as long as you get the same answer I get, we good. And
Mhm.
so some of them did it a different way, and some of them did it my way, and we ended up with the same answer. And I'm like, oh my goodness, because I have been in her classroom when she has taught them different ways, and I just sit there and I'm looking like, oh my goodness, why are they doing this to these kids? I don't
Yeah.
get it. I don't get it. But yeah, they want them to know 9 different ways to get an answer. Now, when
Yeah,
it comes down to it, and you need to know how many groups you're going to put, what difference does it make? How
Yeah.
you get it. But yes, I am me and the new math. Even in kindergarten, when I taught kindergarten, it was crazy. And I was like, oh my goodness, why are they doing this to these kids?
I
It, it's
know.
it's crazy. I don't know who
I
sat
used to hate
around and came
word
up with all this new
problems.
math.
I
Yeah,
know.
I don't like it
I didn't
either.
like word problems. Word problems were my issue because I just couldn't get it. Mom even bought me a book, I think from Woodbury's, on how to solve word problems, and I still didn't get it.
See,
Hmm.
and I didn't like math. I did not do well in math in high school. Then when I took chemistry and got that before I got regular math. And I think I'm the one they said, this is the last year. If you didn't get through your math before chemistry, you have to have your math before chemistry. I didn't, and I did well, and then I did my math. And I remember my math professor stating, he was like, if you had a bad experience, you're not gonna like math. By the time I finished his class, I liked math. So yeah, they're making it harder for people, and I'm noticing some parents, their kids are getting their homework marked wrong because the
Hmm.
parents showed them a different way.
Right,
I don't
right.
think that's fair.
I
Like,
don't either.
Mm-mm. No.
yeah, that's not fair. And who made that rule? It was
Hmm.
so I no, I don't like that at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's so much with the school and um it's just a lot, which is why I keep saying we got to make healthy choices so we can get through this thing called life, because just going to the doctors, like where you guys live, you probably can get in your doctors within the month. Where I live, it's almost like a 90-day, sometimes 6 months of a wait. It's
Mm.
horrible.
That's
You
bad.
know? Yeah, so I think that's another reason why this thing, we'll call it the big C. Um, that's another reason why people are having a hard time and need to make healthier choices because depending on where you live, you can't get into your doctors and it's a delay. So not only do you have to deal with staying safe, you still have diseases and diagnoses that you're already full blown. And so you can't even get into the doctor's appointment. The mental health department is a 3-month wait. What are you gonna do? How are you gonna get in a sweet space if you're manic and you can't get into a doctor's appointment? So there's a lot of issues, and I noticed that about different regions. Everybody's numbers are different, but yet people are still moving around, but they don't realize depending on where you live determines if you can get into a doctor's appointment or not. Can't do it everywhere.
Yeah, because
Definitely,
I needed to find
definitely.
a new eye doctor, and I got in like within a week.
Yeah, see, not
Getting a new eye doctor. So
yeah. Some things you can, not everything. Doctor's appointments. I mean, I was complaining about cardiac patients only getting 15 minutes with their doctor. You cannot, I don't see how they do it. Not in 15 minutes. You know, it even when I do an assessment for healthy choices, it's 35 to 45 minutes. Well, imagine a cardiac patient who is just getting discharged from the hospital and you only get 15 minutes with your doctor. So it's kind of scary to me that everybody can't get in like they like to, but you never know. Everybody's different. Some people can, some people cannot. If you have a rapport with your doctor, they may squeeze you in, but here there's an influx of people. And so, with it being an influx of people, our doctors are almost at the point of burnout. So, that's another portion to the equation. People living in a small town, they can navigate, but these large cities, it's a different story. Oh, I see Alicia again. She's here. Let's see if we can get her on and see
I'm
what's
gonna step out for just a minute. I need to go get my charger. My phone is low.
okay.
okay.
I'll be
All
right back.
righty. All right. Hey, Alicia.
Hello.
Oh my, you almost got your face on. How are you?
Pretty good. Pretty
That's
good.
good. Good to see you. Good to see you. Kathy just said she'll be back. We were just having a conversation about doctor's appointments. I meant I don't know why. I think I'll share this uh, on Facebook, but we're only live on YouTube. So we're learning. I'm learning. Vicky was telling me about what'd you say, Vicky? Your brother had to use his for his sermon
His
on his
phone.
phone
He
because
had to go
everything.
through his phone to use because his system that was connected to Facebook wasn't working at the church Sunday, so he did it through his phone. But then finally, towards the end of service, then it was working. But
Yeah, I'm not liking these social platforms, and I'm not sure now that many of us are using social platforms, there's got to be something that we can do to alleviate, like for them just to know which HTTP to be on. So, but it's a lot of people on social platforms. Unless you have a production crew, I'm just winging it. So that's pretty much it for me. I'm gonna put this on Facebook so people can come on through YouTube if they want, and we can and get some more people on here. We're just shooting the breeze. So Alicia, what else have you been doing?
Pretty much classes started for me last week, so just been doing that pretty much. My son, he's in school, still having therapies. So, just trying to prep for spring semester. That's it. I'm almost done. So trying to push through.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I'll be happy once May, because spring semester ends in May. So, I'll be happy as soon as I'm like right there. I'm like, okay, I can take a breather until my next phase.
See, well, that's what it's all about. And then, what are you planning on expanding, or what all are you gonna do? Any? Have you made any uh, new decisions on new changes? What exactly are you moving forward? Because you're almost done, I know.
Yeah, so I will be completing my degree in psychology. But I'm stepping into a different field. I want to go to nursing school. So that's my next phase. And that's the decision that I'm sticking with. Um, you know, I have, a little experience, just with my son, and just everything he's been through. So, that's pretty much my next phase, trying to prep for that. I know it's going to be challenging, um, but I'm up for the challenge. You
Okay,
know,
that's
talk.
good.
Yeah, I've been talking to my mom and my grandparents, pretty much about everything that I want to do, and they're very supportive. So
That's
I'm like,
nice.
let me just keep pushing, even with
Right.
everything that my son has going on, because we're having to do different type of evaluations, and therapies are still being continued. So it's just a lot more on my plate, but I feel like this is my purpose.
But you do have a support group.
I
Do you
do.
need, so how does that work? Are you managing, or do you need more support, or
um
are you okay? Because you're pretty smart.
I'm
And I say
managing.
that because it seems like you have a pattern that you already know well, you already know it's your son, so you have to
Mhm.
have a plan.
Yeah, and honestly, when I, especially because my son sees so many specialists and I come in contact with numerous nurses. And it's kind of random because I have conversations with them, and they're just like, "Oh, you're in school. What are you in school for?" And then I tell them, they was like, "Well, it was like I would have, I could see you definitely doing nursing just based on like with everything that my son has going on and how I talk to them, because I know, the terminology and all of that. Um, I've been doing this for a long time, you know, and my support, like my village, his grandmother, she's a nurse practitioner, so she's in the field. And then I'm really close with his primary doctor, who is head of Denver Health, the children's portion. So, I have a very, very supportive village. And even like a few of my professors, like my biology professor, just recently talked to him about what my goals and plans are, because, science really kind of freaks me out a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, because it's very complex. right? Science is nothing to play with. Like, you have to be really focused, and that is majority of the nursing major. So when it comes to that aspect, it's like my village is very strong. Um, and I have that portion, but also, having a child with special needs, that's a village within itself too. People are like, well, how are you going to manage, nursing school with taking care of a special needs child, because nursing school is very time consuming. You really, they say you don't have a life or whatever the case may be, but I'm just like, still pushing through. Like, I don't let it deter me from what my end goal is. I've been doing this, like I said, for a very long time. So I'm really not changing or switching on anything. So
And I'm sorry, do you mind saying your son, his diagnosis is what?
so at a very young age, I say around his first birthday, he was diagnosed with infantile spasms. And infantile spasms, how I explain it to parents or just people that are like, what is it? It's almost like a computer glitch. So my son, what he would do is, they have gross motor skills and fine motor skills. When he was a baby, he was able to sit up a little bit. It was just me and his therapist. We were just sitting with him, and he just kind of did like this weird movement, and I call it a computer glitch, because it was literally like a reset, like reboot for him. And so basically, with infantile spasms, it was causing him to lose everything that he was working towards. Like, he would start doing something, and then the spasms would hit, and then we'll have to start all over again.
Yeah.
Now his diagnosis is Lennox Gauss syndrome. It's all a neurological disorder. He has been seizure free since 2019, and that is because he's on a ketogenic diet. Um, we've tried almost every single high dose steroids. I used to have to give him steroids in his thighs when he was 1 all the way up to 2, and then we went to another medication, and that kind of helped, and then we went from these high dose steroid medications to just basic medications, and then they were working good, but then the spasms came back. So
Um,
this really, we were really at a crossroad at this point. And, sitting there and talking to doctors and stuff, it was really hard, because with me being a first time mom and stuff, not really knowing how to explain to the doctors until I had to record the actual episodes that he was having. Also, having his grandmother, who is a nurse practitioner, she advocated for my son and
okay,
I.
good. That's
So
good.
that was a really big, like, she helped a lot. She got us in. And once we were at that crossroad when his spasms were coming back, we were just like, okay, well, what's the next thing? They were just like, well, you can go back to giving him the steroid shots in his legs. And at this time, Tristan was older. And I was just like, that's too hard for me. Like, I don't want to have to poke my son every morning and night. Like, that was hard on me doing it for him when he was 1. So he was like, well, we could try this, or we could do the ketogenic diet. And I was like, okay, well, what are the pros and cons? I'm always asking the pros and cons of everything that you guys are putting my son on, because I need to prepare myself.
That's
Um,
good.
his grandmother will always say, like, you always want to receive, they have to tell you the worst case scenario, just to be safe. It's not to say that that's going to happen with your son, but, just kind of want to, let you know or be aware. So we did the ketogenic diet, and instantly saw a
Uh-oh.
change. So he's been on it for a while now. And when I say it has helped
So,
from
okay.
just the physical aspect, like just everything that Tristan has going on from all his therapies. He has speech, occupational, and physical therapy. He's just been doing amazing. He started walking. They said my son wasn't gonna walk. They said he wasn't gonna sit up. They said he wasn't gonna do a lot of things. But me being a mother, doing my part, making sure we stay on these therapies, make sure I'm clocking in and checking in with these specialists. The neurology team is a big part. That's the main team that I see frequently. Um, so yeah, that's pretty much where we're at right now. That is his diagnosis. Now he's also developmentally delayed too. But in a sense of a way, it's just I don't even pay attention to that because this is our journey. How I see the things that I see him doing are just like amazing. A lot of people are just like, well, my 1 year old or 2 year old is doing that. But for me, it's just like the fact that my son is making these and meeting these milestones. To me, that's amazing. You know, just to know that
That's good.
they said that he wasn't going to do a lot of stuff. And so for me, it's part of our journey. It's amazing to see him doing so much. We still got a lot to work on. Like, it's not over, I know that, but where we're at right now is better than what we were before 3 years ago.
Okay, that's wonderful. And now I see, which is why you yourself have to make healthy choices so that you can maintain all of that. That's a
Mm-hmm.
lot. And like,
Yeah.
and Vicky, well, see, and I don't know if you were, I don't know if you watched any of the live like last week or if you've heard any of it today. But even Kathy was talking about reading with people with, well, that's considered special need. Look, Kathy, you cold?
Hmm.
Are you getting ready to leave us?
No, no, no,
Are you? Oh,
no.
okay. She was telling us about helping kids to read, and I didn't know because your son is he at the reading level. He's how old? Is he 5?
My son, he's 4. He'll be 5 in March.
So he's getting ready to learn how to read,
Yeah,
or he
but
can read.
for him it's that we're not even at that level yet. So we have
Okay,
to kind of
cognitive level.
he's like non-verbal too. So it's just I'm learning. Like I'm still learning. Like a lot of things you
Right.
really think it's like, okay, it's gonna come together. Sometimes it don't. And
Okay.
I'm learning
Mm.
that. I'm learning
I
that I'm gonna have to do things differently.
You do, and I can totally understand where you're coming from because my oldest son, he started having infantile spasms at 9 months old, so he's got cerebral palsy, but
Mm-hmm.
he's 37 years old now. He's small for his age though,
Mm-hmm.
because I can still I can still buy children's clothes for him.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but a lot of things, like you said, that they said he wouldn't do, he's having trouble walking now, but he was, I kind of pushed him to walk because when I was pregnant with his brother, it's like, I can't pick you up anymore. And he
Right.
was about 2 years old by then. So it's like, you got to walk. And I used to, daddy, Kathy, would love to pick Josh up all the time. And I had to get on daddy about put him down, let him walk.
Mm-hmm.
But this was his first grandchild. And so he even learned how to ride a bicycle
Mm-hmm.
without training. I mean, he started out on training wheels, but eventually he was able to ride with just 2 wheels. But there's a lot of things that he can do for himself Even when I pull up the TV menu on the TV, he will point to church, like, I know that's a church channel, so let's watch
Right.
that, or a cartoon channel that he likes to watch. So there's a lot of things that he can do. And sometimes he would play dumb when we'd be out in public, and I would tell people, he knows how to do that. Like,
Mhm.
he can put a seatbelt on in the car by himself. He can dress himself. Although sometimes I do it because I'm like in a hurry. Let's get it done. Got to move. But your son will be able to do a lot, and he verbalizes, because that's one of the things that his neurologist emphasized. He said, don't let him moan and point to things. If he wants something, he needs to learn to ask for it specifically. I'm glad he does that, but sometimes it drives me crazy because he's repetitive with things like, did you hear what I said? Yes, I did. 50 million times. It will happen when I get ready. But
Wow.
we have a routine. So if he's out of that routine, it does throw him off, which that usually happens when he goes to Danville to his dad. He's off his schedule a little bit. But when he gets back home, he knows, okay, this is, we do these things at this time, and so. But you could do it. It's hard, but when you got a community behind you. He attended a day training program until 2 years ago because of the pandemic, and he has not been able to go back. And one of the reasons, well, besides them saying they're short staffed, because I still have contact with them, but also because he's in the community and he lives at home with me. Basically, they're saying there's no room for him right now. But that's fine. I mean, I'm retired, so. But if I was working, it'd be a whole different story.
Yeah.
And I did try a couple of times. I sent him to a home just to see how things would work.
Yeah.
And it was a home in Mattoon. He was mad at me because what I would do is we did a trial thing. I would pack his things on Friday and he would stay until Monday. But I would call, and then on Sunday when I would leave church, I would go by to see him. Well, he was mad. That's not where he wanted to be. In fact, I think the first time I went to go see him one Sunday after church, and I walked in and he was sitting with one of the workers, and they said, "Is that your mom?" No. And she said, "Is that your mom?" No. So then when we were getting ready to go home, and I always made him sit in the back seat of the car. And so we were on our way home. He's like, "Mom," and I said, "Remember, I am not your mom, so hush. I'm not your mom, okay?" And speaking of the devil, he's just now getting up from his little nap. Come here.
Okay.
Come here, Josh. You want to say hi? Come here. Get up. Can you say hi?
Hi.
Yeah.
Hey, Josh.
Hey,
Hi,
Josh.
Josh.
Say hi.
Hi.
How
How are you?
Good.
You good?
You had a
Good.
nap, huh?
That's good.
That's
Good.
good.
Tristan
Oh,
right
good
here,
to
he
see
needs a
you.
nap. He's over here getting into stuff. Tristan.
Yeah.
Tristan. He's not paying me no mind.
Oh, isn't that something? Well,
Tristan.
they grow up. And
One thing I
you just
can
wake
say
up.
is Tristan knows what he be doing. I be telling people all the time, I'm like, I don't care what you say. He knows. He knows.
Yeah, they do.
Like, they know. Like, he knows.
I mean, he knows when he's done something wrong, because I'll get up and he's taken off out of the room, and it's like,
Did you remember,
better.
Yeah.
Remember when he was little and he used to do something and then he'd say, "Ooh wee."
Uh-huh.
Used to crack us up. Like, Josh, you know better. We all went to
Uh-huh.
church together. So he would do something
Oh,
at church and then he'd say, "Ooh wee."
You would be surprised, huh?
Definitely. What used to really aggravate me is though we'd be outside sometimes and when we lived in Miss Abernathy's old house there on Walnut Street, and
Mhm.
he and Michael would be out in the yard doing something, and he'd be out there, help me, help me. And it's like, shut
Yeah,
up, boy.
I remember that.
Somebody gonna think we're doing something and call.
So see, they know, and that's the beauty of it all. See, is that you spend time with them, and what people always say, what they're not gonna do, they are not
Mm-hmm.
God, because as long as you spend time with them and nurture them and massage their brain emotionally,
yes.
spiritually, psychologically, they'll be they do grow. They do
Yeah.
grow.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Literally.
Well, that's
I I really just think about like I don't even at the because my son spent like 6 months in the NICU. And so the nurses, like, they were, because I was in the NICU like every day, like morning, night. Like, they'll be like, Alicia, like, you could go home. Like, he's fine. I'm like, no, my baby's here. I will call them. It's like, he's doing fine, Alicia. He's okay. But the nurse, she said something to me, and it just stuck with me. And she was just like, your journey starts once he leaves this NICU. And I'm just like, okay, like, just kind of like brushing it off because I'm thinking everything falls into place. But I'm like, no, it doesn't happen like that. Like, we have work to do, So
Mm-hmm.
when I think about when I first got here to Denver, Colorado, because he was born in Atlanta, Georgia. So it was just different, just the whole like layout, having to set up the therapies. And I'm just like, okay, well, how long are we going to have to do this for? Is he going to walk? Is he going to sit up? Like it's just so much. And I was just like, wow. Like he literally just started walking like 2 years ago. So a
okay.
lot of things are happening so fast.
Yeah, and a
Like
lot of
we
things
can.
with him, I didn't push, and the
Mhm.
Dr. Pachetti said, don't push. When he gets ready, he'll do it. So there was things that
Mhm.
I didn't push because
Mhm.
he had a very particular eating habit of,
Mhm.
he'd eat something for a long time and then he'd get tired of that and I'd have to figure out something else. So, but since we've been here, his eating has kind of opened up a little bit more where he's eaten more different things that he normally wouldn't eat.
Mhm.
So
Did he ever have
Yeah.
to
See,
have a feeding tube or anything?
no, we didn't have to do any of that. Didn't have
Okay.
to do any of that. He started out on phenobarbital, and then the doctor took him off of that because we've been on that for a while. So now he takes Depakote. And when we first started doing the Depakote, it was liquid, and then Dr.
Mhm.
Piketty said, "Let's try the pill." Well, I thought he took the pill, and I would find pills.
yeah,
Oh.
yeah. They hide pills. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's like, oh, okay, we got to do something else. And
Yeah.
his behaviors were kind of bad. So we did, what was that? Ritalin. Everybody was putting their kids on Ritalin. And one of his teachers wanted him on Ritalin. And
Mhm.
that was when he was at East Park. And so he was lethargic. She wasn't getting anything out of him during the day in school.
Oh.
And so I talked to his neurologist about it, and he said,
Mhm.
that's fine, we'll take him off of it. And she said she would rather chase him around the classroom than for him to, sit there and
Yeah, and just
just
be
be,
zoned out.
be
Yeah.
zoned out. So,
What was his behaviors like? Because
oh,
I'm
bad.
seeing
He
I'm
has some bad
seeing
ones.
things with my son
Wait, I'll
Like,
be back, guys. Keep going.
okay, I've seen things with my son, like he's 4 going on 5, but it's just certain things that I'm just like, okay, like, is that normal? Like, when his therapist comes in, he has a whole fit and he starts acting out, doing things that he's never done before when he's in my presence. But when they
Hmm.
come in, he's just this whole, and they're like, what's going on? I'm like, I don't know. He doesn't do that.
Yeah.
I'm I don't even I have no like explanation. It's just like, well, when y'all are here, he's just jumping and bouncing off the walls and acting like he don't have no sense. Because he knows with me, like I'm like, Tristan, no, like we don't do that. I'm just like, please stop. Like he didn't I hear stories from other therapists, like what other kids do. Like they
Hmm.
bite them, pinch them. And I'm just like, I know y'all think, that's okay, but I don't want him to be pinching you and all of that.
Yeah.
Look, Kristen, come here, come here. Say hello.
Hi.
Say hi. Say
Hi.
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 Had to grab him right
How are
quick because he's
you?
fast. He's fast. I think, Jewel, when you saw him last, like when you had to do my labs, he was really like quiet and still. Now
I didn't get to see him. Yeah. Oh, he
he
went
was
into his room. He went
he
into
was
his
really
room.
like really quiet. Now this little boy is like all over the place. When he doesn't see me, he freaks out. He screams. And I'm just like, I'm not going nowhere. I'm not leaving you. I can't leave you. Like I'm just going another room to clean.
Yeah.
He
Now we've had
Wow.
panics.
issues when he would come home because he liked being at the day training center. And sometimes he would not get off the van. Or when I'd finally get him off the van, then he did not want to come in the house. So I would have to call the non emergency number.
Mhm.
And so one day we had 3 police cars. This is no lie. 3 police cars and the EMTs in the parking lot to get this one person in the house. I was so mad at him,
Oh my
so mad at him.
gosh.
And then one
Yeah.
day when I had to do that, I heard a familiar voice out in the hallway outside, and they said, "We got it from here. We'll take him in." And so when I opened up the door, it just happened to be a gentleman from church, Matt McDonald, that we would sit near in church.
Mhm.
And so I said, "Matt, I am so glad." So that following Sunday when I was at church, he said, "Here, call this number." And that way, because he's an EMT, and he said, then nobody else, you won't get the police to come. And I had even told the police, physically, I said, if you have to physically pick him up and bring him in, I have no problem with picking him up. Well, they didn't want to do that. And it's like, but I watch y'all throw people down.
Right.
And I'm asking you
Right.
to just pick this child up and bring him up 7 steps inside. And so by the time he would get here, he knew he was in big trouble. And
Oh
then by the
my.
time I told Kenny what happened, when Kenny would call later on, it's like, okay, this is what happened today when he got over to school. Um, and he's got that look on his face because we're talking bad about him.
Oh, no, we're not. Oh,
But yeah, he's had some behaviors, but he knows when he's done wrong. So
Yeah.
Untitled.
we're not getting McDonald's.
Huh? Untitled.
His voice is so deep.
I
that's what he
know.
wants,
I got
McDonald's. Uh,
Untitled.
so what do you
Untitled.
guys, what's he saying?
He wants McDonald's, and I'm not ordering McDonald's tonight. He's had
That's
his
what I
dinner,
was
so
going to ask about healthy choices. Do you guys, do they eat healthy and then you let them splurge? Or are you constantly making healthy choices due to their medicine intake and their their diagnosis? Like eating healthy, do you find that it helps or does it matter?
I recently found out that the ketogenic diet isn't a really good diet for anybody to be on, but it's working for my son, with his spasms. They say he still is at risk for seizures, but this diet is basically, keeping him stable. So I do try because I eat healthy for the most part, a little bit. It's hard. I mean, everything I feel like the last weekend I was talking about how you have to do things in moderation or something. But for the most part I stick to his diet for him because I just don't want to take any chances, of having to go back and deal with the spasms again, and because we worked so hard. So I just don't want him to, backtrack a little bit. In medication too, because his med list is still long, still very long. Like I tried to decrease it or whatever, but I'm just like, right now is not the time to make any changes, because he's doing so good. You don't want to take him off of something and then it just, everything happens over again. I'm just like, no, I don't. So pretty much I just stick to this ketogenic diet and it's been working. We do labs, to make sure everything is still where it needs to be. At the age of 5, he'll have to do a bone density test. And then, yeah. So as long as we continue to do blood work, then I'm good and everything comes back fine. If it was to turn out the other way, then I'd be like, okay, well, what's the next step?
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's good to know because everybody's different. And I know we talk about regional areas and we talk about here, the altitude, the barometric pressure, and all of that coming from the Midwest to, you know, more to the West. I didn't know if all of that played a big part. But the statistics, we don't, they always have, statistics we don't know, depending on regional areas or what have you. But I was just thinking, with you guys being in two different areas, if healthy choices made a difference or, what are the different things that you find that works for you? And things that don't work because I know a lot of people are trying different things and they're getting burnt out. So that's
Mm-hmm.
good that you're keeping yourselves healthy, so that you can do what you need to do. That's good. Okay, well, what else is there? We just wanted to put on that this particular live, we're just talking and we missed our walk today, so we're just talking about different things. And I was thinking about, just talking about things that, oh wow, that's crazy. I keep hearing an echo. Are
I
you
hear
guys
it
getting it
too.
too? You hear the
Mhm.
echo too? I
Mm-hmm.
don't know
Mm-hmm.
if it's 'cause my phone is close to the computer or not. Let me put it down here. And I was just trying to think of, just come up with stuff that people are doing to feel better about themselves. We're still in the midst of a pandemic. Oops, I don't know if we can keep saying that word. They're censoring everything. Well, let me just put a thing on here. What we're talking about is for not just educational purposes, but these are real life people telling their story. So we make that clear. They are telling their story. And so who is that little man? Which one is
Yeah.
that? That's your little man, not
Yeah,
Josh,
he just
right?
want to make
He
some
just went
noise.
back to his room and went to
Oh,
bed.
Mine's is right here, making sure everyone hears him.
See, yeah, it's still early. It's just after 6 here.
He'll be going to
But
bed real early tonight.
but see, you know how even kids that like my son, uh, any kid, they want your attention. When your attention is being taken a different direction, now all of a sudden they want your attention. So
Yes.
it's all good. We don't have babies. Well, Vicky doesn't either, but yet you kids, I don't care how big they get, they still want their parents' attention. And they were talking about that too. How to give people attention, listen to them, and after 10 or 15 minutes, they're fine. Then they ignore us again. But
Mm-hmm.
everybody's different, you know. And then Kathy, you were talking about the book. Uh-oh. I'll see if I can add her back in when she dropped off.
I don't
There
know
she
what I even pushed.
ah, these social platforms, that's why I say I didn't have a background because either I turn red, all kinds of stuff happens. So
Mm-hmm.
now I just do what I can, and that's why I kind of don't mind going live because I'm trying to perfect it so that we
Mm-hmm.
can really share stuff. And Vicky was talking about her A1Cs, and we were talking about healthy choices. We were talking. That was another thing. Is anybody taking vitamins? How are your blood levels with your vitamins? Because I think now, doing a little bit of research, they are encouraging people to take B complex because during these times we're needing energy, and the vitamin D. I don't know if you had your vitamin D levels checked, um, but that's a good vitamin to take. B complexes for cognitive, memory. Some people it just depends what your body's lacking, but I've come to some people taking more vitamin E and vitamin C. So everybody's got their own little concoction. I'd rather see people take vitamins that are good for them, and the only way to find out is getting your blood test. But some people are taking additional vitamin D. Um, Depends on where you are with your vitamin D. Some are only taking 1,000 IUs. Some have found themselves to be physical and their vitamin D level is all the way down. So doctors are prescribing 50,000 IUs for 60 to 90 days. But yeah, how's everybody? Are you guys taking vitamins over the counter? Any just keeping healthy, or what are you doing to boost your immune systems?
I take a
Honestly, I
women's
don't take vitamins.
multivitamin. You don't?
Not anymore. I used
Say it
to, and
again.
I don't know why I just kind of just stopped.
I
And I've
just
been
started
healthy,
taking them like
but
maybe last year, and I found like a women's multivitamin. It's a gummy,
Mm-hmm.
and so that's what I take in the
Okay.
morning when I take the rest of my meds.
Yeah, I
And
pretty much do the same
Okay.
thing too.
See, and
I add extra though. Like I bought this elderberry syrup, and then I have like some other supplements that I take. Um, it's really hard though because it's just like every day. Like if it's a multivitamin in a gummy form, yes, I could do that. I love gummies, so I just feel like gummies is better than the actual capsules for me.
hmm
Um, but yeah, that's pretty much it. Keep it simple.
okay. Well, see, that's good because as we get as we grow in making healthy choices for ourselves, I'm trying to figure out what I need to do about this echo. I'm sorry. Um, but yeah, I eat mine, I drink mine. And at this point, I'm trying to do what I can um, to maintain. Oh, I don't know, but I'm just trying to do what I can to maintain because, like I say, we're getting older and we deplete minerals and we want to, and I'm ready. It's important to slow down uh, aging. So at this point, I'm slowing down aging by trying to just make sure I have enough vitamins and minerals and detoxing. And I've been watching some of these social platforms, people talking about detoxing, and everybody's experience is different. And at this point, they're talking about gross stuff because nobody wants to talk about fecal matter and if it's doing right and all of that. So everybody's got a topic. I guess it depends on whatever you're comfortable talking about. But yeah, and so we're getting ready to get off because I wanted to keep it short, and I'm trying to get people to come on. People are working and doing what they do, but I was trying to get at least 10 people on where we can chit chat, and I am gonna try and find a way to I'm not sure what is missing. All I know is the the echo, and I'm not sure where that's coming from. But yeah, so by the time we get 10 people on the platform, I should be seasoned and we can get on some more conversations. And Kathy was telling us about her many stories that she has. But that's what I was telling you. We can be talking about all of her experiences with the kids at school. And Josh got a couple of good ones. So now we see Alicia's baby. What's his name again?
Tristan.
Tristan. Yeah.
Yes.
So now he's gonna be growing up with us, and we'll get to see him evolve. And Josh is grown, and he's 30. What did you say? 30?
37. Michael's
Yeah.
35.
Yeah, but still, he's speaking to everybody, and so nice little sense of humor. So
Oh
we
yeah,
just
because
keep
if he grabs something from me and I don't say like please or thank you, he'll say thank you, and I'll tell him I don't have to tell you thank you.
I bet y'all be going at it.
You gotta set the example. What you mean? Yep. Because see, you would expect him to say thank you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Vicky said, I don't have to tell him.
That is cool though, because it's almost like he literally, because people will try and be disrespectful to him, and he'll probably come right back at them the same way they just came at him.
Mm-hmm. 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 And he's
I
very
mean,
friendly and outgoing. So if we're out, he's quick to say hi. Some people will speak and then other people will just, look and keep going. And it's like, that's fine. I don't
Yeah.
care. It is what it is. And, some people say, oh, he's not bothering me. Well, I kind of feel like I want to pull him out of that space because I don't want people to just patronize me. Do it because you actually care, not, for any other reason. So, I've just kind of watched how people interact with him when we're out and stuff. So, I mean, a couple of times at church, we were, I think it was Easter weekend or something. Anyway, we were having a service at church, and we always sat down front near the front. And Brad was getting ready to close up service, so we were standing up having prayer, and he was sitting with me and another couple, friend of ours. And all of a sudden, I looked up, and he was up stage with Brad, standing on stage with Brad. And I just looked at,
Oh,
I just grabbed Deb, and I said, "Deb, look where he is." And she said, "Oh my God." Because he's quick on his feet when he wants.
Yeah.
And it was just like, boom, he was up there with Brad. And I'm like, oh my God. So at choir rehearsal, Brad will let him come sit up there with him at the keyboard. And, and it's like, I just want you to be still. The people didn't care, let Josh be Josh. Well, y'all don't have to go home with him.
But
That's
he still
exactly
loves
how I
music,
am.
doesn't
People
he?
don't
Yeah, he
understand.
does. He still loves music. He still loves his music.
Because remember,
And
he used to sit with Jackie Brown on the organ all the time.
Yep.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
See, that's good. Well, they made some headway, so that's good. And you can see, and he's comical. He don't,
Mhm.
even though he's serious, but yet, like you can say, he know what he's doing because
Yeah,
he cracks you up
yeah,
sometimes.
he
Oh,
does.
that's good. That's
Does he
Because when
good.
still
Kenny
say,
goes to get him, and I tell him, your dad's at the door. He opens up the door. Here I come. Here I come. Yeah,
Oh,
get up and get out of here. Get going.
what's up?
Oh yeah.
That
And
used to
it's
see,
crack
what's up?
me up
And
too.
now he's got this thing too where he says deuces. And it's
ooh,
oh yeah, he says deuces.
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 Mm.
And I'm
that's
like,
good.
oh,
Mm-mm-mm.
mm-mm.
So see, you just never know. Life brings about a change, but yet there's so many different positive things coming out
Yeah.
of it. That's one thing we want to hold on to, So now, Alicia, do
Mm-hmm.
you get into like that's I was hoping that we would have one come on here and talk about different gems, like people know about their birthstones and the significance of it. Do you know about different birthstones or different gems? Because I talk about that gems and nuggets, but I don't know
Oh,
if
like
people understand.
crystals? Are
Yeah,
you
do you
referring
like
to
crystals?
crystals? Yeah, I
How
it's a
much?
lot of crystals. I have a book on it.
Yeah.
It's like you have the raw crystals, and then you have the raw is more so they're very sensitive. Like you can't put it in water. You can't have it in the sunlight too much. I have some if you want me to show you the difference.
Oh no, I mean I know about them in birthstones, but like we were talking about, it's the new year and how people are changing and learning and growing. And even scripture talks about sapphires and rubies and black onyx and stuff like that. But maybe we'll have that conversation another time. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but I was just trying to come on here and see what everybody was doing and if they were continuing their healthy choices. And if anybody needed to be motivated or encouraged to get back on track. I know I was supposed to be reading. There's two books that I'm still trying to read, and I can't. I've got so much on my plate. It's like I'm not ready yet to just sit down and read. So I thought about that and I thought, oh, we can get on a subject, but we all are reading something different. So maybe that'll be something we can talk about. I know there's book clubs on social platforms now, and I'm just trying to get people, I guess you can say, acclimated to visiting and relating to and talking to, different people
Does
nationwide.
anybody,
Uh,
excuse me, I was just gonna say, does anybody do puzzles?
I
Puzzles, I
do.
love. Yep,
I like word
I
search and easy crossword puzzles.
Mm. My siblings and I last year, when the pandemic first started, we all started doing puzzles because my mother
yeah.
used to do puzzles all the time, and that was
Mhm.
a way to sit down and just kind of talk to her. You had to sit there and put a couple pieces in, and I never liked doing puzzles, and so I
Mhm.
I sit there and talk to her and maybe put in two pieces, and I was done. But the rest of them, Karen really liked doing puzzles. So Nuji, I don't know, I guess some of the people in his age, they started doing puzzles, and then they would complete a puzzle and then they would send it to the next person. And so
Oh.
we started, all of us during the pandemic started buying puzzles. And of
Yeah.
course, I'm still not that good. So I would do 100 pieces, but Nuji and Karen would do 500, and he even does
Oh, wow.
1,000 piece puzzles.
Really?
And so, and so we send each other puzzles. So like Merlin found a puzzle and she bought all of us one and mailed it to us. And then I found a puzzle that I said, oh, I think everybody like that. So I bought the puzzle and then mailed it to all of them. And what we did was we even got puzzles that were pictures of us. Like I got one that was our childhood picture that had my mom and my dad in it, and
Oh, that's
sent
Mhm.
all of them that
yeah.
one. And so we got into doing puzzles through the pandemic. So I have one sitting on my living room table that I'm going to do, and it's 500. So that'll be my largest one if I.
Oh, that's
But I
cool.
try. I'm gonna try. But yeah, we got into doing puzzles, and that's relaxing.
Yeah.
I do a puzzle game on my laptop, but right now I'm at 54. I do like 54 pieces. And I know that sounds just childish, but I one night when I was playing with it, I accidentally hit 96 and I didn't realize it because I'm like, why all these pieces are still sitting here? Because I can click it where you can start and do like the frame. So that's what I usually
Hmm.
do. I do the frame and then I
Right.
work from the ends, then work the inside.
Oh,
But I
Hmm.
wow.
do like to do them. I just don't have the space to set one up anywhere. I mean, I guess I could in my bedroom, but
Yeah. I have a round table, a high table,
hmm
and I did the first one on that. And then my granddaughter came over and spent the weekend, and we had a puzzle. I think Merlin must have sent it to me, but it had like five women on it, and they had on like gowns. It was really
hmm
nice, and Micaiah really enjoyed putting that one together. So she and I put it together. And see, Mama always framed her puzzles after she would do them, and
hmm
so I framed that one for Micaiah and gave it to her, and because I wouldn't have thought that she would even have enjoyed putting a puzzle together, but she really did.
hmm
So that's just
I
something
love
we started
puzzles.
doing during the pandemic.
I love puzzles. I actually put together a mermaid puzzle, and I broke it down, but I used to shellac them and then
Hmm.
frame them.
Right. Hmm.
I love puzzles, but we don't do anything like Jonathan works and Grady's upstairs, or either at work and I'm at home. My sisters don't really, do anything or come over. We're all quarantined because the numbers are so high here. And my son will come and he'll give you a hug. Okay, gotta go. See you later. Or Sunday. That's the day when we really will do something. And we still do the old fashioned spades and war. Uh, I think only I'm the only one that'll do puzzle. Every blue moon they'll put one or two pieces in, but never sit at the table. And now I know another lady, she does like Vicky, the computerized ones. But I like
Mhm.
just coming together, eating, and then sit at the table. But a lot of people are getting back to Monopoly. They play a lot of Monopoly and everything, but unless it's a media family, I'm here at home. I'm learning how to do these social platforms. And I was serious when I said it'll be 2023 before I decide to socialize with anybody on, more than 30 minutes. I mean that. Because, well, for me, it's a little different, you know. And then yesterday, I'm like, oh Lord, when you're exposed to um, the big C and you know you have it, and then I had to like walk away from one because most of the time you will cancel. They tried to go along with the program, and I was like, no, that's what you should have said. So anyway, I hurried up and got done, and I came home, and that's another thing I read. Now they're saying the placebo effect. A lot of people think that they have the symptoms, and
Mhm.
so it's so much going on, and that's why I was saying demographics. You guys are from like it's a smaller population, but some of these larger populations, we're getting different data, different reports, different information. So, anywho, with that being said, I'm still uh, go do my little work, my appointments, come home, and everything else I just do. But I'm still trying to, do my juicers, and I like my cabbage and kale, but this one is just fruit. That's what I was going to tell you. And then I listened to last week's live, and I couldn't
Mhm.
hear what Vicky was saying. Vicky was saying she didn't like certain, like it looks like Brussels sprouts. Girl, I love Brussels sprouts.
I do
And
like Brussels sprouts. I don't do okra. I can't do
Yeah, we
okra.
said
I
okra.
Okra.
love you can. It's mind
No.
over matter. Mind over
It's
matter.
still too slimy.
No, see, I've done that too, but I would do this medley with cabbage and kale and green. Well, I don't use green a lot, just a little. Red, yellow, and orange peppers, and I mix it with extra virgin olive oil and a bunch of garlic and a bunch of seasoning. At the very end, that's when you lay the okra on top, and it's not even slimy. It's so good. And do you like pickled okra?
No.
Oh, girl.
Ooh.
Well, I'm a veggie. I love vegetables, but when I heard her say that, I said, I didn't even hear. That's what I didn't hear you say. And I was like, well, you said, yeah, like the Brussels sprouts was little cabbage, but it was the okra and Kathy couldn't do the okra. I can eat anything but eggplant, and that's because I'm allergic, you know. But
Hmm.
now that's a subject we can talk about because if you know what you're eating and you know the vitamins that it contains and the benefit, you may just start trying little stuff.
Mhm.
Do you like Indian food?
I like Indian food. I've tried it before. It's really good. It's really
Mhm.
spicy.
Yep, and I love tiki masala. I love that. And when you get used to these spices,
Mhm.
they're so good. I mean,
It's
you
really
just
good.
mm, my mouth waters. It's so good. Do you like Indian food, Kathy?
No, I can't say that I really have eaten it, so I won't say no because that's what I used to do. Say no, and then I
Okay,
haven't tried something, so I
Yeah,
haven't tried it, so I can't say.
okay.
I haven't
Sometimes
either.
it's an acquired taste, but then the first, but people are starting to use all these different seasonings, like turmeric. It's a lot of
Mm-hmm.
turmeric,
Hmm.
but it's very
Yeah.
good. And I love it over rice, or I don't usually do noodles. What else have you tried, Alicia?
I've tried Caribbean food. I love that. Um, I like pho. Pho is really good.
What is it, pho?
Yeah,
Yes,
pho is
I
like it's
like it.
literally like a broth with some
Right.
noodles, and then you can add veggies and meat. It's
Yeah,
so good.
I like the chicken and the shrimp pho, but I also like the cilantro, the big stalks of cilantro. Some people cut it up and put it, it's like a soup. So, yeah, but you can't go wrong with pho.
Yeah,
You,
pho is always the go-to, like if you're sick or because it's the broth that is so soothing.
yeah, and I like the natural herbs that's in it. I like the
Hmm.
cilantro, I like the big stalks of onion, but a lot of people, some people like beef, but I'm a chicken seafood person and or
Yeah,
chicken.
same.
Yeah. And I can eat like maybe 3 ounces of beef if I had to, but like I'll cook different, because we've got one beef and potato here, and then I'm a seafood, salmon, shrimp. I can't
Hmm.
eat all fish. I'm still allergic, but I can have crab legs and lobster. But then when you go, it just depends because everybody's different. But
Yep.
I always have the vegetables. So let me see what else is good. I like curry chicken. You like curry
Oh
chicken?
yeah. Curry is my favorite. My son's great grandfather, he makes amazing curry. And every time I've always asked him, I'm like, Grandpa, when are you gonna make curry again? I
I
love it.
love curry. Yeah, and I'll do that. And then I'll eat it and see. And people say, uh, different things, or you should eat brown rice versus white rice. Well, I've done some studies where it doesn't matter. For those
Yeah.
that unless you have diabetes or high cholesterol, but if you eat it um, in moderation or early enough to process it. But I'm only talking about, those, because if you're on medication, that's a different story. But
Hmm.
my thing is, I love the chicken curry. I love the different spices. And
Yes.
if you notice, spices are here to sustain us all. They are medicinal. So once you start eating spices, that becomes your medicine too. Unless you're on like a blood thinner or something like that. But that's pretty much it. I was just trying to find out what people were doing, and maybe that's the next time we can talk about the benefits of different spices. Um, all kinds of stuff. There's so much to talk about now. And if we're since we're not able, we don't live down the street from one another, and you know how it used to be where you used to go and visit people, and I'm not too keen on visiting right now. So this is a good way to talk about different things virtually. What you think?
Yeah.
Hmm.
And I know Alicia, you're pretty much you don't do a lot of socializing or do you? Because I think last time we talked, people in your, I'll say, circle
Hmm.
were exposed to COVID. So
Yeah,
you
they
still
were.
have to,
I don't
yeah,
go out like that. I'm not like the rest. I'm sorry. I'm not like the rest of the young folk in my generation. Outside ain't that important to me, and I have a son that got complex medical needs, and I cannot be sick, nope. I stay to myself. If I do, it's small, very small
Well,
group.
okay, that makes sense too. And so that's why I'm trying to do these social platforms. A lot of people don't have anyone to talk to, or they don't see a lot of people. And that's one thing I've noticed about the social platforms, especially YouTube. People are coming on and they're talking, trying to connect with different people, just have conversation, and meeting different people. It's not like you have to be there ace boom coon, but at least you can have a civil conversation with people maybe you wouldn't even meet on a regular basis, but those that come together on certain platforms, um, it's fun, if not for just an hour or 2 hours, you get on a good subject and you might go 2 and 3 hours. But, it's always good to do something. If we're not walking and talking, maybe we can just come on and guys feel free to, you know, let me know what you want to talk about, what kind of topics. And that way we can all communicate. Who knows? If we don't get to walk next week, maybe we'll have a live and maybe more people will come on. You never know. But that's all. I was just trying to get people on to communicate, participate. And Kathy, she's been very supportive of me. I'm not doing anything in particular, nothing special. Like I said, all of my other stuff will go on Patreon for those that want memberships. But just talking and shooting the breeze, that's fine. But when we get down to the real personal nitty gritty stuff, that goes on Patreon, and that's only for those that I'm assisting with their health and wellness choices. But otherwise, this platform is just to shoot the breeze, come together. And what you think, Vicky? So far so good?
Yeah,
Gives you
it's good to
something to
reconnect
do?
with, with our childhood friends that we've grown up with.
That's right. And I don't know if Melody or Robin will come on. Um, but there's and then I don't.
Well, Lisa said she was glad to reconnect with Melody.
Oh yeah, you should have sent her the link. I mean, anybody's welcome to come on if they so choose. And we can just talk about different things. But what I like to do is just keep it positive, talk about health and wellness, and just do stuff, uh, share our opinions, and just talk. Because at the end of the day, what else do we have to do?
Hmm.
I Nobody's going to the movie theater, you know. So this is a good way to connect, and I'm glad you started coming in. Oh, there's Kathy. Yeah, I think it's all of our social platforms. Yeah. Well, what you guys think? You ready? Kathy, you said you're getting ready to go somewhere, huh?
No,
Are
I'm
you?
not. I'm
Oh,
gonna
okay.
probably go upstairs and watch some football with my husband. That's about it. I'm
Okay.
not leaving.
Oh, okay.
I slipped.
Okay.
My finger slipped. Sorry about that.
Oh, that's okay. Well, I was just saying thank you guys for coming on. And, you know, listen, we can use this platform to talk about anything, research. You need me, like, let me know, and I'll do the research if I don't already have it done, and then I can tell you about it. We can also go private. So whatever you want to do, but this platform is just to get people, like I said, to make healthy choices, talk about their healthy choices, and whatever else, whatever reduces stress. because as you know, stress will kill you. So we definitely want to decompress. And anybody that wants to come on and want to talk about something, decompress, talk about healthy choices, share the link if you want. I mean, we can get up to 10 people and we can all talk about whatever it is you want to talk about within reason. You know, we know there are some out there that will just, you know, they they talk about other things, but um, our agenda is making healthy choices and reducing stress. That's my agenda. But I don't mind sharing my platform so people can talk. And Alicia and Vicky, you guys just met each other today, right?
Yes, I was
Yes.
on. Yeah.
I think we've been on before, but never really, we didn't
Mhm.
talk.
Yeah.
See? So now you guys, we can look. Look at God. That's good.
That is true.
Somebody you can relate to, or somebody that can understand what you're going through. That helps as well.
Mhm.
And that's what this is all about, is to be able to connect with people. So thank you guys for coming on. I appreciate you.
Appreciate
Thank
you too.
you.
All right. Thank you.
All righty. What
All
about
right.
you, Vicky? Anything else?
Everybody have a great evening.
Thank
No, that's
you.
it. Yeah, everybody have a
Oh,
good evening. I'm getting ready to probably find another movie on Prime to watch.
I wish I could watch TV like I used to, but I don't. I watch more YouTube than I watch TV or anything. And
Well, I found
then
a couple of good movies on Prime Video tonight. One of them was about grace, and then the other one was the 30-month promise. And I know you've seen the story on Facebook where the husband is having an affair and his wife finds out she has cancer. And they took that and made it into a movie, and it was really good. It was on Prime Video, and I watched it tonight.
What's the name
okay,
of that, Vicky?
It's called 30 Promises.
30
30
promise.
promises.
30 Promises. It was on Prime Video. So if you've got Amazon Prime membership, you can watch it on their Prime. But it's
Oh,
called 30 Promises. And then the other one was called about grace.
okay.
But they were both very good, and no cussing, no nastiness in either one of them. So it was good.
I'm
They were
sorry,
both
guys.
good.
Hold on 1 second for me.
I have to see if we have that. I don't know. My TV. My husband has so many different channels. Some things I can get and some
It's
things I
in my
can't.
app.
So,
So when I pull up my apps, um,
Yeah.
mm, night night.
you back up?
See
Hmm?
Kathy. See Kathy.
Hey,
Sorry,
John.
guys.
Hmm?
You ready to go to bed?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you have sweet sleep tonight.
Hmm.
Say thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey.
Night,
Good
Josh.
night.
Have a
Hey.
good night. Thanks,
Good
everybody.
Have a good night, Josh.
Good night.
night.
Good night.
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 Okay, I had somebody at the door. Oh, Lord. And Kathy just went off. Okay, so I had somebody at the door, but thanks for coming on, Alicia. And feel
No
free to
problem. Have a good evening.
thank you. Bye-bye. Well, thanks everybody. That was nice. Okay. And I'll just want to say good night to everybody. We was just shooting the breeze, nothing spectacular. But if you would like to come on and join the conversation, feel free to do so. Um, we're just being ourselves, just a platform to talk, even though it's all about health and wellness. We missed our walk today, so we were just talking. But like I said, if feel free to come on if you would like to come on, that's perfectly fine. It's nothing formal. We're just shooting the breeze. So until next time, this is Simply Jewel TV. With Feel free to go to simplyjewel.com if you have questions, comments, or concerns, and hope to see you next time. Peace and blessings. Bye bye.